why? This does not make sense to me. Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. It is VLOGmas day 10 today, and let's jump right into it. I've got some things that I need to unbox right here on the desk. I know you can't see it yet, but I do have it here to unbox, and we're going to be talking about the lighting that I use in my office and the strategy that I use when I'm setting up the lights or whatever. So let's get right into it. I've got a package here. Let's see if you can see it. And this it's from Lab Culture. Let's see if we can. Oh no, wrong way. There we go. Packaging is dope from Lab Culture. This is from my boy J-Hawk, Johnny Hosteller, one of my favorite creators out here on the internet. If you're not following J-Hawk, I would definitely suggest you go and find him on YouTube, Instagram, and then follow the brand Lab Culture. I'm rocking the Lab Culture hat right now, and he had a drop the other week, and of course I copped some things. Let's see what's in here. Okay, got me a 3X shirt, got the Lab Culture bag. The packaging is just top tier, man. Like, whew. Finally came in 3X. The 2Xs that I've purchased in the past are a little bit on the struggle bus, so I'm happy that he came out with a 3X for me, since I'm kind of in between sizes. But this is dope. I'm liking this t-shirt. Separation hours with the tiger or bobcat or whatever it is, and it says stay locked in. And I like to stay locked in the lab, if you will, in the office, in the studio. So this kind of spoke to me. Separation hours is basically saying, I'm going to stay up late. I'm going to stay up to get it done until it's done. So nice t-shirt, high quality material. Shout out to J-Hawk, Lab Culture, you know what I'm saying? And I believe I got one other item as well. Okay. I got a pack of 3 socks. So got some Lab Culture socks as well. All of them are black, basically all the same thing. It's pretty cool. They kind of mimic the Nike kind of vibe. J-Hawk is a tech sports camera gear creator, which I vibe with all of that. And these are kind of like the Nike, what is it called? I have some on right now. Nike Dry Fit, but on the toe box it says Lab Fit instead of Dry Fit like the Nike socks. I think that's a nice touch. But yeah, picked up some socks and a nice t-shirt this time around. Thank you, J-Hawk. Thank you, Lab Culture. Let's keep it moving. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one over here. So I've got a sweatshirt that I ordered from Old Navy that is kind of dope. On the front it says Los Angeles County Basketball Club. I like that. And then we've got a bigger logo here on the back. Los Angeles County since 1980 Basketball Club. And yeah, I've got some other accessories that match this really, really well as well. Let's check those out. So number one is this Air Jordan 1 Mid. It's in this blue colorway, which is really nice. It matches the same color as the sweatshirt. And on top of that, I've got Hoop Haven. Hoop Haven is a brand that I found through one of my best friends. His brother, I think, was wearing this hat or a similar hat in some content, and I was like, yo, that's dope. And of course, it's got Los Angeles on there as well, which matches the sweatshirt. And then, of course, I got the Dodgers cap that matches the Jays, the same color as the sweatshirt. So a lot of LA vibes, if you know what I'm saying. I've been to LA a couple of times, and it definitely speaks to me. And, the Lakers are my team because LeBron is there right now. And I've been a Lakers fan for quite some time, since the Shaq and Kobe days. So yeah, man. 2 seconds on the C50. I know that a lot of people, are wondering about this and wanting to learn more about it and so on. So I called Canon today because yesterday, if you remember, I wanted to know why I can't use this dial for the ISO. And then today I have been researching how I could set a custom button to switch between frame rates. And I love using custom mode 1, custom mode 2, custom mode 3 on my Canon R5 and my Canon R3 because I can just set 24 frames per second and all of my settings for that custom mode on C1, and C2 can be 4K 60 and C3 can be 120 or webcam mode or whatever I want to use for that custom setting in video. And I'm wondering why in the cinema world you can't do the same thing, because it's not like those same people or the same kinds of shooters are not changing their frame rate or changing their settings to be in a certain scenario which they use the camera. A lot of videographers, photographers, we do the same kinds of work all the time. So it would be beneficial, in my opinion, if it were just universal to make custom modes a thing on cinema cameras as well. And so when I talked to the gentleman from Canon, he was a little snooty with me about, the cinema game is a whole different thing and you got to be prepared for that, and and I was just kind of like, bro, like, I just want to make this easier for myself. And that brings me to my last observation for the day on the Canon C50, which is that maybe this camera is not for the convenience of an everyday content creator like I presume that it might be. I think with the advantage of learning a new system and figuring out how to incorporate it and how to operate it at the level that you need to operate it with the speed in which you need to create and so on, I think it can be used for that if you learn it. But generally, right outside the box, you got to be a little bit up to speed on cinema cameras before you just buy one and go think you're just going to go shoot and figure it out, because it's a totally different menu system. It's a totally different kind of party where you got to program certain functions to certain buttons and not to dials and some of the little nuances and things of that nature. And that was another thing that the guy told me, is that the dial here is not a button. And I thought to myself, that is incredibly dumb. It can twist, and it's twistable for a reason. So that means it's only functional in photo mode. Why? This does not make sense to me at all. But I hope they fix it with a firmware update so that, it can be functional because it's on the camera. I would love to be able to use it. And even if it's something that they don't want to be manipulated by accident while you're shooting, maybe it's just not functional while you're shooting or something like that. I don't know. All right, so let's get into this lighting situation. I mentioned Jayhawk when I was talking about the lab culture gear and following his channel, and one of the things that I picked up from watching him in his office is that he mentioned that anywhere that he wants to turn in either corner of his office, he wants to be able to use that as an angle. And I was like, man, that's really interesting, because I used to feel like I could only film in one spot, and having that friction of only filming in one spot kind of limits you to your creativity and using different angles and switching it up for your audience and for your videos and the engagement and so on and so forth. And so I decided to put lights in every corner of my office, and that just allows me to be able to use whatever angle I want. Now, my main angle is right here at the desk, which I use for a lot of my social media content, and this one is an Amaran 200D. It is 200 watts. It's 5600 Kelvin. It only does one color temperature, but it's super bright. I probably have it at 50% right now or something like that. And I like to be able to just have a greater output for my main angle. That way, if I need to be a little bit hotter on the light as far as the power is concerned, I can, or I can dial it back if I want a little bit more of a chill vibe in here, if I'm not filming and I, you know, just want to kind of switch it up. So that is the Amaran 200D. Next up is the light that's right behind me, and that is the Amaran 150C. Now this light is a newer light that I really enjoy, and it's probably the light that I use the second most in this office. Again, a lot of my short form content and the previous segment that I did was using that light. Now the Amaran 150C is a bicolor light that you can switch the Kelvin on, which means you can make it cooler or warmer in its white balance, and then you can also go full RGB mode with it as well. Now this one, you can go the entire spectrum from red, green, blue, purple, and everything in between. You also have some effects features that you can set, like if you were going to use this light to mimic a storm with the lightning, or if you wanted it to mimic the fireworks or the television, if you're, you know, watching television with the light. So many different effects. It's very cool. The 150C, I really enjoy it, and it's just about as powerful as the 200D that I use for my main angle. So the third light that I'm using in my office is the Amaran 60D, and if you hadn't noticed, the D stands for daylight. So this version is the daylight 5600 Kelvin version. There is a bicolor version as well that you can make cooler or warmer. But this one is the 60D, and I've got a Godox mini lantern on there, and this one is probably the weakest of the three that I have in my office, and that's because I don't really use that angle that much because of the glare in my glasses or what have you. But in the off chance I do want to use that angle, I do have that light over there, and I have the lantern on there so the light can, you know, spill out a little bit further. And I just haven't picked up another Light Dome Mini 3, which probably what I need over there with the grid. However, this light serves its purpose. And what's next to it is the Amaran PT4C. Last but not least, it is the light bar that I use in my office, and as you can see, it's white and it's giving that glow and that bar right behind me. I enjoy having these lights because it adds a little color and texture and just kind of a different flavor to my background. I have two of them. You saw the other one that's to my right in my background when I first started the video, and these are also RGB and bicolor lights as well. They run on battery and or plug in with the cable power delivery. All of these lights again are by Amaran. You can follow Amaran creators on Instagram to find out more about them, but I love having these kinds of lights in my office so that I can again film in every single direction. No matter which angle I turn to, I got a light to light my face and my skin and make me look good.